On this episode, as y'all could tell from the title and picture, I got the opportunity to do something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I always thought it'd be really cool to do. Dad and I have both been watching Marketplace for the last several years, sending each other ads back and forth on these trucks. And here, well, little over a year ago, they sold their farm and downsizing, semi-retiring, everything. And so if I'd find a listing, I'd send it to Mom. And found a couple that over the last year, found a couple of decent ones, and I came across this listing several weeks ago for this truck, and I sent it to Mom, and she saw it. She's like, "Hey, for that price, I mean, pursue it. Like, check it out, see if it's, if everything's legit with the listing and everything, go for it. Go buy the thing, bring it back." And the cool thing was like a week and a half, it was exactly 2 weeks before Dad's birthday when I saw the listing. So in this video, y'all see the trip. Marge, Ziva, and I went up to St. Louis, looked at the truck, bought it. I drove it home. It was fun. It was an adventure. It was something I've always wanted to do, but enough with all that. Let's just jump right into the video. We left the house this morning about 4:05, 7 o'clock now. We're somewhere in Illinois. Headed to St. Louis, northwest side of St. Louis, but it's nice weather. It's 40 degrees, supposed to be a high of about 60 today. But got a couple fun things planned. I'll try to remember to take some video as we go. But as you can see, all my passengers are asleep. But that's alright. Some of us need to sleep. Well, we had to make a pit stop and get some Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Somebody woke up from her long nap as soon as she heard the bag rustle. We got about 30-40 minutes yet till we get there, but stop and get something to eat and stretch a little bit first. Get back on the road in a little bit. St. Louis Arch, gateway to the west. I've been past that thing probably 30 to 40 times in the last 12 years, and I've never been there. We might have to change that this trip. Well, here's the truck. Dad grew up with one of these. Only truck he remembers Grandpa having when he was a kid was a 47 to 54 Chevy truck, straight six, 3 on the tree. That junk in there's mine to make for a more comfortable ride home. But all in all, she's a pretty nice truck for the price. I'm pretty tickled with it. We're getting ready to hit the road here. Interiors and seats in beautiful condition. It's a little thick. It sticks me. My long legs weren't made for these trucks, but it runs good. I took it for a test drive earlier and it runs great. The 3 on the speed shifts nice. We're getting ready to hit the road and hope for the best. Well, we just left like 5 minutes ago and had to stop. Not because anything's wrong, but because there's a 7 Brew here. So we had to stop and get us some refreshments before we start the trip. Well, we just hit the highway. We're on 270 East headed towards Illinois. Hey, she's humming along at about 55 miles an hour. Getting passed by everybody. But we got about 20 miles of interstate, and then everything from there we're going to go state highways. We're just trying to get out of St. Louis, out of and around St. Louis without going through town. But we'll see how she does. So we got off the interstate now. Shoot. I don't know what the town name is. Anyway, we're in Illinois. Got off the interstate, and it'll be all highway, state highway, and 2-lane roads from here on home. Got about 5 hours and 40 minutes. It'll be a lot nicer going highways due to the sweet spot for this thing wanting to be about 45 miles an hour, so it'll be a lot better going highways. So as I was videoing that last part, the stupid GPS, even though I set it to select to not go on interstates, took us back on the interstate. So went down one exit, getting back off, not taking the interstate. Crazy thing. Anyway, on to our regularly scheduled program of trying to avoid the interstate. So we've been driving, we drove about 50 miles so far. Stopped in Belleville, Illinois. Nice little town. Drove right down Main Street. Had a pretty cool old main drag through town. It's pretty nice. Stopped for a restroom break, checked the oil, stuff like that. I had brought everything along to wire in a 12-volt socket so I can charge my phone and 12-volt socket so I can charge my phone. And there was one, the cigarette lighter was still in place. The guy that I bought it from, he had unhooked it, and I checked the fuse holder and everything was still there, so I looked it over a little bit, hooked that up, and it still worked. So for the time being, I'm just going to run that just with my charger. I did bring my Bluetooth speaker along and a power inverter, but I don't know if I'm gonna run that off of that. The battery's right under the floor, so like I said, I got wiring and everything in there, and so I might end up still wiring that socket in if I decide to hook up the inverter. But we're gonna hit the road and keep trucking. Well, this crazy GPS can't make up its mind. First off, it went from insisting on taking us interstates when I told it not to, and now it just turned us off onto a little road, cutting through back roads, going through a little town. And when I turned onto the road, the road was blocked, like halfway's blocked, and it said local traffic only. Well, I guess we're locals today, but technology, gotta hate it. Second fuel stop in little town of Coulterville, Illinois. Population 1,300 people. Check the oil while I'm stopped. It's got a little residual yeah, oil leak out the valve cover, and all in all, the engine, yeah, it could be resealed, cleaned up a little bit, but I'm gonna check this, and if it's good, get back on the road. Well, the oil's all good, so we're gonna fire up and keep heading south. Well, we stopped at a Walmart. Ziva was getting antsy and needed to get out and stretch her legs. So went in, did some walking for a bit, getting back in the truck, and got a little over an hour to our next stop. Hoping to get there before dark. I think we'll be all right. But all in all, we got about 4 hours yet till we get home. Let me show y'all how easy this thing starts, though. Now that I said that, I probably won't. So anyway, sorry about the glare, but it's got the old foot stomper starter down there. And there she is. This truck is just sweet. Anyway, I'm gonna hit the road and keep on trucking. Well, we didn't quite make it before dark, but we got to the next stop. Spin this around and show y'all. Still got enough light we can see. We're out here at the Ohio River at Caven Ferry. I pulled down here to get a shot of the truck closer to the water, and apparently with the rain that we had, sand washed up on here and I'm kind of stuck. So that's cool. Hopefully, there's a couple trucks over here, ferry workers, I guess. Hopefully they got a tow strap, and if not, push me out maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But ferry's coming over now, about to catch a ride on that thing and head on over to Kentucky. Well, we got the truck out. The guy on the ferry, he hollered out at me. I had Marge in the driver's seat, trying to get it in gear and ease it out while I pushed, and the guy over on the ferry hollered at me. I thought he said, "I'll come pull you out as soon as we get unloaded." Well, what he said was, "I'll come pull you out as soon as we get back." So everybody that was on the ferry unloaded, loaded a bunch more up, and then they head out across the river. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Had I known that that's what he said, I would have kept on trying to get it out so we can get loaded on that load. So now they're over on the other side of the river. They got unloaded, loading back up. Probably be about another 10 minutes till they get over here and we can get on. But it is what it is. Check the oil. It was about 2 quarts low. Well, about a quart under the low mark. So I topped it all off, put 2 quarts in it. Opened the heater valve. So I can get some heat in here. It's starting to get a little chilly. Sounds like Ziva's starting to get a little cranky, so I'm gonna go entertain her for a little bit while we wait on the ferry. Well, unfortunately, you really can't see anything as far as, or hardly. There you can see we're moving. We didn't get here early enough, and then, of course, finding out that these old 53 Chevy half tons don't do too well mudding. That slowed us down a little. I was hoping to cross the river when it was daylight, when we could see, but it is what it is. Well, I'll get to the other side, and got about 10 miles from the other side to a gas station, so we're getting, I'm under half tank, and I don't know exactly. I've never, obviously just picked this thing up today, so I don't know the gauge that well. It works, but I don't know how empty is actually empty. So next gas station we get to, I'm filling up with gas. And we'll check in there. Last stop period, hopefully. Got about 2 hours home yet. Ziva is just about over it all. Marge is too. Marge is tired. Ziva's just ready to be out of the car seat. I can't say I blame her. And I don't know if we're gonna stick to 2-lane roads. Those are fun when it's daylight and you can actually enjoy the views. But when it's dark and there's deer out, not so fun. So I think we might, we're just gonna, whatever's the straightest shot home. If that's interstate, that's interstate. Man, I love how easy this thing starts. But I did notice when we got off the ferry, we stopped, there was a porta-john there. We stopped and used that. And I noticed the thing, there's a little bit of oil coming out of the exhaust. So might need valve stems or something. Valve stem seals rather. But we'll check it out later. Well, it's been a long day. We left the house about 20 till 5 this morning. But we made it home. Now to keep this thing hidden for about a week and then surprise Dad with it for his birthday. Drove all the way from northwest suburbs of St. Louis all the way home. Top speed of about 60 miles an hour. Cruising about 45 to 53 most of the time. But not a single problem. It ran great. It was a whole lot of fun. And now I'm gonna go in and, I don't know, my butt hurts, so I shouldn't sit down, but I think the couch will be more comfortable than what that bench seat has been after so many hours. Well, it's the day of. Marge just dropped me off. I washed the truck this morning, filled it up with gas, getting ready to head over. We got a plan in place for over there, and should be fun. Let's go do this. I must say, even though the shop's not done, it looks better with a couple old vehicles sitting in here. I moved the duster in over the weekend because we had chance of hail and bad weather. So anyway, get in here and take it on over to Dad's and reveal the surprise. Alright, so I'm sitting outside Dad's house right now. I'm on the blind side of the house. We have come up with a ruse to get Dad and everybody outside on the far side of the house. So as soon as I get the go-ahead, I'm gonna drive around the back here. Just waiting on the signal. I'm not shaking, but I'm excited. This is gonna be awesome. All right, it's go time. then we'll pick up again. Thank you. Turn it off and start it again.
Mom's not using it.
Just married. Just married.
We have a visitor, and his name is Frederick. Frederick? Yeah. Fred. No, Frederick.
Left the turn signal on. I did that so many times on driving home. It's not auto canceling and it doesn't light up on the dash. Yeah.
We got power steering.
And it's home.
Maybe they'll put it in the garage.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of how we surprised Dad with a 1953 Chevy 3100. Truck he's always, as y'all could tell in the video, he was pretty tickled with it. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Following along, watching. I sure enjoyed making the video. That trip was something I've always wanted to do. Like I said, it was so much fun driving back roads in an old vehicle, and of course then you get the little bit of the thrill factor from it too, with, you know, not knowing the vehicle that well. But it couldn't have gone better. We stopped for gas, we stopped for food, and we stopped whenever Ziva was just had to get out of the car seat for a while. Added 2 quarts of oil, added gas. That's all I did the entire way home. The truck was absolutely, performed flawlessly. It was great. And I'd like to give a big shout out to Brian, the gentleman that we bought it from. Just the transparency, the honesty, the help that he gave us, the advice he gave me, as far as best routes to get out from his place, get around the city, what to avoid, where to go. He was more nervous about the trip than I was. He tried talking me out of it a couple times, but I'm really glad he didn't convince me to bring a trailer. But it was an awesome, smooth transaction. Brian was super helpful, and couldn't have asked for a better experience as far as that goes. So thanks for that, Brian. Anyway, if we do anything with the truck in the future, anything major anyway, I'm sure I'll take a video of it and post it. But for the time being, thanks for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed. And if you've got any stories similar, if you've bought your dream vehicle, you've surprised somebody with their dream vehicle, anything like that, comment it below. I'd love to hear the stories. And like I said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.